What is going on, guys? What's going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. Today we're going to be recapping New York Giants OTA practice number 5 out of 10. Again, these practices aren't open to the media, so everything that we get is only from Giants.com. So that's the only thing I'm able to really bring you guys. We're not going to be able to have any other, beat writers on there, your Art Stapletons, your Dan Duggins, guys like that really report on the practices and what they see at real time. So there's just not a lot of information, but there is some good information, just like the information we've been getting the past couple of practices. All right, so the way they're doing these practices today, they're starting from the minus 30-yard line. Now, that's what John Schmelk says on his article, and I'm assuming the minus 30-yard line is the offense's 30-yard line, because you think about it when they say we're in plus territory. Plus territory is the opposing side of the field. So minus 30-yard line means they're bringing it all the way back to the offense's 30-yard line. All right, so let's get on to the coverage. Now, one thing I really do want to notice before we start talking about a lot of the plays that happen is I'm really not seeing a lot about Russell Wilson. I don't know if that's concerning. I know he started off OTAs like 1 of 4, and I think his touchdown was like a dump off pass to a running back. Should I be concerned? Is there something to be concerned about when it comes to Russell Wilson? It's just OTAs at the end of the day. I really don't take it too much, too seriously when somebody outperforms in OTAs, because odds are they don't really do that well in the regular season anyway. Look at the prime Trey Hawkins highlights back in 2023. It's hard to gauge how a player is going to play on when the games actually matter and when the plays actually matters. But OTAs seems to be a good indicator. If you're not performing in OTAs, it's just like, what are we doing here? I don't know. But I haven't heard too much about Russell Wilson, not as much as I would like. Maybe they really pumped up Daniel Jones when he was here, but I always heard good things about Daniel Jones. I'm just not hearing too much about Russell Wilson. But there was some talk about Jameis Winston. Obviously, he's the number 2 quarterback. I don't know if he took any first team reps. I assume he did. They're doing a lot of that where, they're having the quarterbacks rotate, especially Jameis Winston rotating in and doing some first team reps and kind of getting a chemistry with the projected starters. But he had a really good pass to Greg Dulcich. Now, Greg Dulcich is going flying under the radar. This is a guy that I really liked in his draft that he was coming out. I think that was 2 or 3 years ago. Greg Dulcich coming out, the athletic tight end out of UCLA, like a Dalton Kincaid type tight end. And I really liked him coming out of college. He was dealing with some injuries, a little bit of inconsistency issues with the Denver Broncos. They wound up releasing him. The Giants picked him up off waivers. And, he's been flying under the radar. Nobody's really talking about him, but he's a guy that I think can, work his way up there if he remains healthy and gets back to the prospect that he was coming out of college. This is a guy that could actually do something for us and be some good depth. Now, he had a good pass to Jameis Winston. I'm assuming he's playing with the second team, because I don't see Jameis Winston playing with third teamers. So Greg Dulcich getting some second team reps, I like to see it. I don't know what's going on with Chris Manhertz right now, but I haven't heard too much about him, but it's not like he's a receiving tight end anyway. So I like to see that Greg Dulcich is getting some looks and actually performing in OTAs thus far. He also had the play of the day, the throw of practice, a wheel route to Devin Singletary. Now, it'll be very impressive if the wheel route was already streaking down the sideline, but I just hope it's just not like a dump-off wheel, as he was turning the corner. I don't know. I don't know how that's the throw of practice. I got to see it for myself. Then we had some standout corners today. Cordell Flott and Drew Phillips both had passes defense today, and these are guys that have been highlighted throughout practice. Now, Cordell Flott has been a guy to impress in these practices, in OTAs, in multiple years. Just as Patrick Mahomes says, I'll see it when I believe it. So I take it with a grain of salt when it comes to Cordell Flott. There are some players that I know are going to perform well in these practices, but just don't do much on the field. I like Cordell Flott, don't hate him, but I don't think too much of him. Drew Phillips, on the other hand, has been noted to be to actually defending passes in these practices. I want to see that on the field. He had one pass defense his whole rookie season. I want to see that number grow, and he's had more already in these practices than he's had his entire season as a rookie. So I want to see more of that, but I am excited that both these guys are being highlighted because I can foresee both these guys getting playing time. Obviously, Drew Phillips is the slated starting slot corner, and Cordell Flott is a guy that can be put in the slot and on outside corner whenever he's needed. Speaking of cornerbacks, we have the 2023 drafted cornerbacks, the brothers together, Deonte Banks. I talked about him last video for the last practice. I said, where is Deonte Banks? I put the Batman signal on because I haven't heard about his name. I didn't hear him getting toasted. I didn't hear him performing well. I just didn't hear anything of him. His name was absent from all of these practice reports, and he finally comes up in this one in a good way. He had a pass defense today and prevented a couple of catches. So happy to see Deonte Banks is out there and performing, as well as Trey Hawkins. Now, we all know about the story of prime Trey Hawkins, okay? He had everybody, including myself, excited that we may have a star 6th round pick starting for the Giants, and he bamboozled us all. I mean, I still like the prospect of him. I'm really excited about the depth of Trey Hawkins. I really hope that he turns the corner and really outperforms him being a 6th round pick. I think he could be a guy to work with, man. I really like Trey Hawkins, but he had a couple of prevented catches today as well. So just happy to see the 2023 corners doing some work. Tommy DeVito was probably the highlight quarterback of today's practice. I'm not sure if that's probably not a good thing. He's the number 4 quarterback on the roster, but he was the most exciting quarterback of OTA practice number 5, as he was lighting it up with a seam route to Jermaine Terry, the undrafted free agent tight end out of Oregon State, who I like a lot. I just don't know if he's going to have enough room to make the roster as a tight end, but he had a beautifully threaded seam route thrown to him, and it went for what should be a touchdown, as the reports are saying that it was he had nobody in front of him, and he just took it to the house for a would-be touchdown. And then you had Jordan Bly, another undrafted free agent wide receiver this time, with a perfect slant, called a perfect slant in stride for a long gain. So Tommy DeVito was wheeling and dealing today. Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau had multiple would-be sacks between the two of them, so I'm excited to see that. Again, these are not in pads. I don't pay attention to anything that these OTA practices say when it comes to the trenches, whether it be offensive linemen or defensive linemen. It's hard to really gauge if it's like something to believe or not. But I mean, Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns have had a lot of success as edge rushers for the Giants and other teams in Brian Burns' case. So I believe it. I mean, they are our top pass rushers right now, as of right now. So I got to believe that they're out there giving the offensive line some work. So a couple of would-be sacks from those guys. And then Javon Holland. So Javon Holland had himself an interception and a pick 6. So I don't know, did Tyler Nubin also have a pick 6? Did all of the safeties have pick 6s? That's insane. But Javon Holland now joins Micah McFadden. Micah McFadden, Dane Belton, who has 2 pick 6s, Tyler Nubin, and undrafted free agent addition, Paulson Adebo, with interception. So I'm happy to see that. I'm really happy and excited to see that the players that the Giants have signed most recently in Paulson Adebo and Javon Holland already have interceptions. That listen, it's OTAs, I get it, but it's something that I want to see, okay? It's something that I want to see. I don't want to go the whole entire summer not hearing anything about Javon Holland and Paulson Adebo. Give me something to be excited about, because these two players were not on the team previously. Give me something to be excited about, and I am excited about these guys turning over the football in practice, so that's good. Javon Holland came from a deep safety position, picked off the ball on the right sideline, and went straight to the house, so that's something you want to see. That being said, if you guys enjoy these videos, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We'll be covering as much of these OTA practices as we possibly can and getting it out to you as quickly as we can. And yeah, excited about, you know, what they're doing so far. Again, I want to see a little bit more from our starting quarterback. You know, I want to see a little bit more from Russell Wilson, but it is OTAs, and I'll wait till training camp to really make a decision on that and on what I think about the quarterback position, because we'll be actually able to see like highlights and things like that. So yeah, that being said, leave a like if you guys enjoy, subscribe, and new to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next video.